What's up, everybody? My name's Chance, and today we're going to be hopping into a very interesting deck. It's a cheap creatures deck. Anyways, ooh, I'm super happy that I did bottom that. So here comes a Cavalier of Thorns on turn 4, and be afraid. Which means, theoretically, if we hit a land here, we can get our Ravager Wurm down next turn. We can also hit a red land, theoretically, and then have enough mana for Drakuseth. So this could very well round us out fantastically. Lotus Field. Yes, please and thank you. So you aren't going to be getting your creatures down for free necessarily, but you can get down Cavalier of Thorns for 3 mana. You can get down Ravager Wurm for 4, which, you know, very cheap given their original cost. How do you do this? Well, Marauding Raptor into Nylea. It's actually a very cool combo because you can play Marauding Raptor on turn 2, which makes Nylea cost 1 less, so you actually get Nylea down on turn 3, which means you can get Cavalier of Thorns down on turn 4, right? So pretty crazy there. What you get Cavalier of Thorns down on turn 4 just with Marauding Raptor, but having it only cost 3 and then also being able to get down a Leafkin or whatever, you know, it's crazy being able to reduce creatures cost by 2. You can get a Ravager Wurm down on turn 4, right? That's crazy. Anyways, before we go and hop into this deck tech or deck breakdown, I'd like to remind you all, if you enjoyed the video, please be sure to leave a like down below and a comment in the comment section. Subscribe if you're new here, all that lovely self-sellout jazz stuff. But now, on into what we're actually playing here. A Boreal Grazer, 4 copies of it to help us ramp up, as well as it can survive the blast from Marauding Raptor if you play it later, and it can help you ramp, so, you know, ramp, stays alive, has reach. I think I said ramp twice, but I meant reach. Double R's, whatever. So yeah, has ramp, reach, and the ability to stay alive from Marauding Raptor. So all in all, fairly good. 4 copies of Marauding Raptor. Again, gonna make all of our creatures cost 1 less. If you're feeling like a daredevil, sure, go ahead and play 2. Just remember that will kill your Leafkins. Ferox is fine, Nylea is fine, Cavalier is fine, Ravager Wurm's fine. Obviously, all these towards the bottom will be fine. But just remember, you can't really play your beginning ones, right? Which, you know, probably worth it. If you can get down 2 Marauding Raptors and make something like a Ravager Wurm only costs 3 mana, or make a Drac You Seth only costs 4, like, yeah, by all means, do it. So, and it is a 2/3 after all. If you do end up playing another Marauding Raptor down into it, it does become a 4/3 because it gets the +2/+0 from you entering a dinosaur, right? So, small little benefit, but again, it's mostly in here to make your creatures cost less. 4 copies of Leafkin Druid to help you add up mana even quicker. Obviously, if you have more creatures down, you're going to be adding more. 2 copies of Domri to give our creatures that can't be countered effect, as well as a +1/+0 bonus, as well as being able to fight a target creature we don't control with one of our creatures, which a lot of our creatures are powerhouses, so it should be perfectly fine removal for us. 3 copies of Klothys, because Marauding Raptor works very well into Klothys as well, because you can play Klothys for 2 mana and then also follow it up with a Leafkin or Boreal or whatever. Furthermore, Klothys can help you gain mana, which helps you pay for these higher end cards, and can deal 2 damage, gain you 2 life in those matchups where you're just sort of getting hammered, the aggro matchups, right? 2 copies of Nullhide Ferox, which comes down as a 6/6 with Hexproof. Yes, it makes it to where it's a little bit harder to get down your Great Henge or, well, really just your Domri, right? Just your Great Henge and Domri that get affected there. But if it does hit it, you know, don't fear, because you only have to pay that 2 mana to make it lose that ability, and it'll be a-okay. 3 copies of Nylea, because I only have 3 copies, and it's legendary, so even if I had a 4th copy, I couldn't reason to play it. Does that make sense? Like, 4 copies of a legendary, maybe in a deck like this, where you're specifically looking for this combo of boom, boom, and then any of these, right, to sort of kick you into high gear. Maybe 4 copies, but again, I only have 3, so we'll make do. Anyways, Cavalier of Thorns is going to be excellent at allowing us to put extra lands on the battlefield. Again, it's going to be very cheap. It is a little cost restrictive, as it is 3 solid green mana, but with having Leafkin down, that sort of helps that. Domri, again, sort of helps that, so. But it's going to have reach. There's a whole lot of flyers going around that are very good at sneaking by and just getting you down low and then finishing you off. Dream Trawler even. But whenever it dies, we can exile it and then put a card from our graveyard, which we'll probably have, you know, back on top of our library, and we'll aim for something good, right? 3 copies of Ravager Wurm to come down and take our opponent's creatures out, or I mean, I guess we could take out something like a Castle Garenbrig. That would be very good, right? 2 copies of Drac You Seth, because this card can win you the game all on its own. If we're making cheaper creatures, I think Drac You Seth is the one we want to make cheaper, so you can get this down for like 5 mana, given you can hit the Marauding into Nylea. Now again, if you go double Marauder into Nylea, then your Drac You Seth, I'm sorry, your Marauding, your Drac You Seth is only going to cost 4 mana, which is 4 mana for 7/7. That deals 4 plus 3 damage. Like, that's crazy. Crazy. 1 copy of Terror and Mount Velus, just because I want to try this card out. I think it's good if your creatures already have trample on them. But having to play this and find a way to give all your creatures trample is a little difficult, and it really works best on creatures with trample. If your creatures don't have trample, such as in our case for the large majority, then it's just sort of you know. I've really wanted to take this card out of this deck, but for the sake of still not having hit it, you know, like played it, I kind of want to play it and see if it ever does win me the game. But every time it ends up in the hand, it feels sort of meh. So I want to know what y'all think about it personally. I think leaving it in here as a one-off is perfectly fine. It is still a flying double strike 5/5. So, you know, getting that down for, what, 5-6 mana? Still not bad. That's 2 turns and your opponent's dead, right? Because it deals 10 damage just itself, which is crazy. Anyways, 1 copy of Thorn Mammoth. I do really like Thorn Mammoth. Maybe 2 copies. You know, maybe if I remove a copy of Terror and Mount Velus, we'll go up to 2 copies of Thorn Mammoth. But it has a few amount of situations where you're like, you know what, I actually don't want you to fight anything. Could you not? But you can't. As soon as you play a creature, it has to fight. So, you know, it's okay. I like it, and it gets itself caught sometimes. 1 copy of End-Raze. Now, this is a card that you could definitely go up in numbers on. End-Raze is fantastic. Making it cheaper is fantastic. And if you want to take out some of the variants, right? Maybe you do cut the Terror. Maybe you even cut the Drac You Seth, and you make this more of a mono green splash red style deck, right? And then you can just focus in on End-Raze, Cavalier, things of that nature. I'm not saying that this is the best styled version of this deck. Does that make sense? The best creatures for this deck. But this is the ones that I wanted to play, and so I'm giving you all my suggestions as we go. A lot of people have a lot of problems with my deck because they look at them and they're like, oh, hey, that's not optimized fully. But if I was trying to optimize everything fully, then ultimately you just get back to the same top 5 decks, right? So you got to expand. You got to, you know, reach out and touch more cards than just what you're used to. So if you want to play different creatures, by all means, the main combo is the Nylea and Marauding Raptor, right? That's how you get your stuff cheap. Domri's is great at helping. Klothys is great. Leafkin is great. Arboreal Graze is great. But if you want to change this top end, by all means, go for it. 2 copies of the Great Henge, because obviously we're going to have a whole lot of big creatures down, and with those big creatures, the Great Henge is going to cost a lot less, and then once we get the Great Henge down, every time we cast a creature, we're also going to draw a card and make it even bigger. So yeah, Great Henge. What a great card. What a great card. And then we have 2 copies of Voracious Hydra. Trample, you can bring it down and have it fight something, which is like sort of removal. Or you can bring it down and double the number of +1/+1 counters, and since it's going to be cheaper, you can bring it down for more than what mana you have. So please remember that when you go to cast your Voracious Hydra. Just try to remember that. It's mostly me that will forget in matches. I'll see a Voracious Hydra and I won't think about the 1 or 2 extra mana that we get from Nylea and Marauding Raptor, so it's mostly for myself. And then I do recommend playing Castle Garenbrig in this deck. Most of the time I'm like, nah, but in a deck like this where it's focused on creatures, yeah, I think it's perfectly fine. So, all that being said and out of the way, finally, we're going to go and hop right into our matches. RPB Walk 1, 2, 3. Their name makes no sense, but that's okay. Well, this is interesting. I think I will keep this. Don't care so much about this, but these two are playable. And this allows us to at least get a good look at what we're about to draw. So we go Shock here. Oh. Play you. And go ahead and get down a Temple of Abandon. We're drawn into another land. Well, it's not terrible. You cost 7. That's still only 4/5. I think I'd rather see something besides land. We'll go Temple of Abandon on our next turn, and then Fabled Passage to round us out. Yeah, because we don't need to get down that Hydra quite yet. Another Grazer. No thank you. Alright. Let's hope between our two scries we've allowed ourselves to dig enough to find something a little bit more mid-range, right? We have the top end, right? I want to find something mid-range. We can take out that Impassioned Orator. I actually have no problem in using our Voracious Hydra to kill that thing, so... There's also a Klothys, but Klothys can wait a little bit to come down. She doesn't have anything to exile in any graveyards quite yet anyways. Well, I guess now she does, but... I'm actually going to get some green mana, just in case we do hit, what's it called? So, Cavalier of Thorns, right? So, Voracious Hydra, come on down, and I will have you fight the Impassioned Orator. Now, they may have an Ajani in their hand as well that we may have wanted to get rid of. You know, if that's the case, it is what it is. You, Klothys, you're actually going to need quite a little bit, but you plus a land, plus one more land, I guess, is a terror, right? So not this turn, but next turn, we can actually get our terror of Mount Velus down. That is very interesting. Which, giving double strike, of course, to a 2/3 Voracious Hydra, not the scariest thing in the world, but it is a 5/5 flying double striker in itself, so there's that little benefit. They probably should attack with the Mara here. They're not going to, though. They're going to keep it safe. Alright, so we go our graveyard, right? 5, 6, 7. Thinking that's how that works. I think I can count correctly. We'll see. Hey, look at that, I can. Now, we didn't necessarily get it down for super cheap, but, you know, we're swinging with a 4/5 with double strike and a 2/3 with trample and double strike, so that's still a whole lot of damage. And then we have a 5/5 in Sky to sort of finish them off, and to defend. So, you know, our opponent's sitting at 2 lands. They got a little bit screwed here, huh? RPB walk, I'm sorry. You were sort of made of an example out of. That's a little unfortunate. Alrighty, on into a game 2 then. Bosir, or Bosir? I don't know. Gonna be our second vote for the day. I do like this hand. If we can get a Nylea, this could be very, very, very fantastic. So we're gonna go Marauding Raptor. Maybe into a Ravager Wurm. We'll have to see. We are up against a Cat Oven deck, so I think we'll go ahead and play this Temple of Abandon now. Leafkin Druid. It's interesting because if we play the Leafkin, then we can get to the Ravager. But if I bottom the Leafkin, yeah, what is it? If you control 4 or more creatures, yeah, I'm gonna bottom you. I am gonna bottom you. Yes, it helps us get to the Ravager Wurm, but so would a land just as easily, right? And I don't want to see a land either. So I'm going to treat that Leafkin like it's a delayed land, because that's basically what it is. In which case, I'd rather see a Nylea, honestly. Give me the Nylea. I also need red mana to get the Drac You Seth down, so that wouldn't help us there anyways. Ooh, I'm super happy that I did bottom that. So here comes a Cavalier of Thorns on turn 4. Be afraid. Which means, theoretically, if we hit a land here, we can get our Ravager Wurm down next turn. We can also hit a red land, theoretically, and then have enough mana for Drakuseth. So this could very well round us out fantastically. Lotus Field. Yes. Yes, please and thank you. I will sacrifice my 2 basics if I'll stop clicking directly in the middle of them. Alright, so Cavalier of Thorns, fantastic. I will swing in with a Marauding... No, I won't, because they're just going to block it with the kitty cat and do that whole combo. Right, so we'll just let them... Has Cat Oven deck? Doesn't use Cat Oven deck. No! I'm so sad. If they don't take Drac You Seth, what are you actually doing, opponent? Don't like this person. So we're all very, very clear. I do not like this person. So yeah, a little bit funny. Thorn Mammoth enters, kills one of the cats. Ravager Wurm enters, kills one of the cats, right? But I do think playing the Thorn Mammoth first is better. Better. So we'll play it down. We'll have it attack one of the cats, at which point they will probably sack the cat with the old classic cat oven techniques, right? But it means they won't have their Witch's Oven open for when we do it later. So, yep. Sack, and then they play it back. Bum-ba-dum-bum-bum-ba-dum. So we can swing in here and here, and they either have to take the damage or lose the cats straight up. Okay, they're going to block with one cat, and the other one is going to allow the damage. So that makes sense, since Marauding Raptor allowing 2 damage is not the end of the world, right? But with our Ravager Wurm coming down, that should help us. Ooh, you play Witch's Cottage? You're going to want to decline that, I'm fairly sure. All you have is a cat in your graveyard, right? Yep. Yes, indeed. Oh, no! Yurok's Finlurker. We don't want to see that. Well, now just fingers crossed that we draw into something good. Of course, we have the Thorn Mammoth on the battlefield, which is trample, which is fantastic against cats. Ooh, Nylea. We've been looking for you. Nylea is great because it means in the future we can pay her 3 mana cost, and I'm killing you, Finlurker, because I don't care about your cats. But it means in the future we can pay her mana cost and get down creatures, or get creatures into our hand and then get them down, so we don't flood out so bad. Boasier, just gonna concede. I understand that we were fairly good bit ahead. So picking up the first 2 games actually really minorly easy. I don't know. I didn't seem to have too much of a struggle with those. So on into a game 3. All mine, gonna be our 3rd foe for the day. All mine. This victory shall be. Oh no. Well, not with a hand like that. That's a little bit better. Opponent does still get to go first. I do want the End-Raze, don't get me wrong. Call me crazy. I don't care. We weren't going to be able to get the Grazer down on turn 1 anyway, so like at that point, what's it even matter? Castle Garenbrig. Well, that could very well come in handy with the End-Raze and whatnot. Seeing as how I'm deciding to be a greedy asshole of this game. Let's go, Marauding Raptor. Let's go. So one cool thing is we can actually, if we play the Castle Garenbrig. Oh no, we can't play the Castle Garenbrig. Right. I was gonna say we can get down both of these 2, but because of our specific land setup here, we actually can't. So stings a little bit, but it is what it is. So we can either get down Klothys or another Marauding Raptor. I think either / both are fine, because we're not really defending here, we're not really attacking, we're not really doing anything. There's no cards in the graveyard, so there's nothing to really do there. Actually, we're going to go Leafkin and Marauding Raptor, I think. Do we go ahead and play the Castle Garenbrig, though? I think we go ahead and get the Lotus Field. Well, if we do that, then we can't get Klothys, right? If we go ahead and sacrifice that, then we can't get Klothys. Also, I should have played Leafkin first if I was going to do that. Just mistakes, left and right and left and right. Because now we can't play Leafkin, right? We could swing him with Marauding Raptor, but that's no good up against the Vampire of the Dire Moon, so we'll leave it as is. But I'm sure at some point that we'll remove one of our Marauding Raptors, in which case all will be back to normal. Alright, so get down the Klothys. Play you. Boom, boom. So we're up to what, 4 mana now? Again, can't play that quite yet. No attacks in turn. Now with Klothys, we will have enough mana, thanks to us sacrificing those two, to either get down the End-Raze or to get down the Thorn Mammoth. As to which one I want to get down first, I'm not sure, because Thorn Mammoth fighting a Vampire of the Dire Moon isn't great, it's just going to die. But fighting an Anarch Bridemaid, well, that's another story, right? So, no swing-ins. Wow. That's very, very surprising. Our Nullhide Ferox only costs 2. That is crazy. Crazy. So we could do this, but it makes everything else. So I think we do this. I think we do Thorn Mammoth. Take out this. Now this is going to kill the Thorn Mammoth as well. So, you know. It is what it is. Sacrifices must be made. Boop. We could do this, but again, it's just gonna kill it. So there's no reason nor rhyme for that. Bum 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 bum. And this is kind of why I'm always iffy on the double Marauding Raptor. I like it, don't get me wrong, but it is what it is. Okay. Yeah, I want the extra mana. I do. Question is, do I want to go Domri or do I want to just get a Nullhide down? I think we can do both actually. So let's get red mana here so we don't have to do it with our Lotus Field, right? We can get green mana there. And that alone is enough for a Nullhide. So yeah, let's actually go ahead and get our Nullhide down. So we do 1, 2. And then we can have target creature we control. Klothys, kill that. So this way we don't lose our Nullhide. Fantastic. Mwahaha. Mwahaha. Then we take our Klothys, who has 5 damage and is indestructible. Well, if we swing in, they're definitely going to block with the Vampire, and we definitely want them dead, so yeah. We make that swing. They didn't block with the Vampire. Interesting, interesting. Why would they not block with the Vampire? I'm so very confused. Unless they intend on swinging in at Domri with both Vampires, forcing us to sacrifice. They don't. Opponent, what are you doing? What do we have in our graveyard? Just that. So, yeah, we'll start getting rid of our opponent's graveyard at this point, dealing 2 damage, gaining some life. I think a good Cavalier of Thorns is in order, actually. We're still 1 mana away from getting the End-Raze down, you know, successfully, repeatedly. But there's that mana. Oh, all mine, just gonna concede. Oh, that's understandable. We had a fair board. Granted, I made a mistake with the Leafkin in the beginning. I told you I was gonna make a mistake somewhere. But yeah, I mean, I guess for future reference there, now y'all know, if you're gonna play a Leafkin and then your second Marauding Raptor in the same turn, which should be a fair amount of times that happens, given the amount of cards you have of each of them. You know, play your Leafkin first, and then play your second Marauding. Don't make my mistakes. Anyways, had a great day, had a great set of matches, had a lot of fun. Hope y'all enjoyed. If you did, please be sure to leave a like down below, comment in the comment section, subscribe, all that lovely stuff that helps the channel / the video / myself, because, I don't know, you know, whatever reasons. Anyways, I am going to get out of here. I'm still a little bit tired. I still have a lot more work to do, but, you know, I definitely wanted to get a video up today. It may be a little late. I don't know. It's already a little late here. But, yeah, we'll try. So, peace.